scary simple ticketing and payments for haunted attractions. Hauntpay.com.
Congratulations. You guys made it through. So kudos to you guys. You guys all kick ass. I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. We broke records this year, right? We hit numbers that we've never hit before.
On a count of three, you say Halloweeny. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Halloween!
So good season? Oh my God, yeah. We'll do better next year?
I'll get tokens.
I don't know how we get much better than what we did already. Because everything we did this year, we just never thought we'd end up doing. And then it happened. And then you're like, oh, we can't get to another level, we get to another level. Oh, we can't get to another level, we get to another level. So I don't even know what to expect.
Everybody thinks that we're nuts. Like, who does this? I mean, I don't think there's one haunted house owner that didn't look at themselves in a mirror going, am I being crazy about this? I don't think there is, because there's no school on this. There's no one that goes to school and says, oh, I'm gonna be a haunted house owner. It just happens.
Scarehouse Windsor is one of Canada's premier haunted attractions, located in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. The actors, designers, makeup artists, and owners of Scarehouse Windsor lovingly refer to themselves as the Boo Crew. Housed inside an imposing old warehouse building, the haunt sprawls across a massive 40,000 square feet, offering not just one, but 5 distinct haunted experiences. As the Boo Crew gears up to open their doors for a 15th season, they reflect upon the humble origins of Scarehouse Windsor. The journey from its modest beginnings to its present grandeur is a testament to their dedication and passion for the macabre.
We're kind of freaky and we're always looking for business ventures, but we also like to do things that are fun. And one year we had an empty building that needed to have something done with it. Scarehouse started back in 2008 when we knew that we were going to lose the Bentley's Roadhouse building.
So Bentley's was one of the bars that we owned downtown, and it was very obvious that it wasn't going to be part of our career path in the bar form.
We needed something for the building, and my business partner, Sean, said, hey, why don't we try a haunted house?
I went to Dario and I said, I think we should open up a haunted house.
I think we talked about it like here and there. We watched a couple other places become haunted houses. It was kind of intriguing.
And I don't think Dario at the time thought it was a good idea or whatever, but I really pushed him on it.
Yeah, it was like, what, whatever, let's try it. It sounded fun. And
we're gonna lose the building anyways. So we did. We opened it up, put up some half-ass walls and made a haunt.
I think I've only been through maybe 2 haunted houses before that, and both times completely terrified, screaming my head off. I was probably a fun person to scare.
I've been going to the Scarehouse for years. The one in Bentley's, I remember walking into that. That was terrifying because when you first walked in, there was this hallway of just like pitch blackness.
It was madness. We just kind of did whatever and scared however we could. I was in the bathroom, so I would kick the door open and just scream bloody murder at them and chase them into the kitchen. It was really thrilling and it was really stress relieving.
The clown chasing you out the back door through the kitchen area, those are core memories now.
And we did it to the best of our ability then, and it sucked. It was terrible, all right? It was horrible, but we had so much fun doing it and we lost our shirts doing it. So like, what would you do? You're like, all right, let's do it again. We're terrible at this and we lost money. So the next year we started again.
Didn't we just use our trailer to get all the fences?
The first, not this trailer, it was a smaller trailer. And I remember.
Wasn't it the wooden one that ended up getting burnt down?
Yeah, caught on fire.
Behind Bentley's?
Yeah, it burned down.
Fence day is definitely a term that everybody knew how painful it was to carry all of our fences and tarp, especially when we were at temporary stages.
What sucked about that place was it was in a basement. So we were a traveling circus. Every year that we would go, we'd have to bring stuff down the stairs or bring them up. The very first day we were bringing them in, the ceiling was so low. When you're coming down to the basement, the roof kind of does this, and so you have to kind of shimmy it down and get it around. We actually hit the heat sensor for the fire department. It started going beep, beep, and then they emptied the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, you emptied the whole Holiday Inn.
And then the fire department shows up. They come in with all their gear. Again, something that we learned that we got to be a little bit more careful about dealing with our authorities.
You have to do it within the parameters of what makes a haunted house. But it's very dark and spooky down there, using all the typical smoke and mirrors and stuff and props that I've made from mannequins and ghoulish stuff. Putting it all together and designing it so that people are in there for about 8 to 10 minutes and give them a good scare.
We've pretty much broken even, and the way the city is, it's kind of fickle. What used to work before doesn't work anymore. So like the know-how that I have, I've had to adjust it.
In the basement of the Holiday Inn, which some people would remember as Dante's.
I was familiar with the nightclub because I was a manager in there. We set it up from Olet and then you came out onto Park. I don't remember much about that haunt other than the fact that all of our fog would blow up into their lobby. We had a door that was near the
tunnel, right?
Yeah, so it was going in and running up right into their lobby.
Yeah.
So when people were coming into the lobby, it was all this fog up there.
Looked like a fire.
Yeah, and then one of the chicken exits emptied into the lobby.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
then people would go in there crying. Yeah.
It was totally not appropriate for their for their hotel, but they let us do it. Did we use tarps back then?
We use tarps. We use tarps now. But it was all tarps then.
In our early days, it was about budget, and our budget was put fences up, put tarps up, put some lights on the walls, and put some masks on the volunteers and the staff, and let's see how it goes. And every year it would just get a little better, and we'd have a little bit more money, and we'd, okay, let's buy this prop, and then we'll add another prop. I think at the Holiday Inn, it was a 2-week setup, 4-week in, and then 1 week out.
He let us use it 3 years in a row.
For the month of October, Windsorites can pay to be terrified at the Scarehouse, an annual haunted house in the basement of the Holiday Inn on Olet. Hundreds of people showed up to the Fright Fest on Wednesday night to celebrate the spirit of Halloween and have the wits scared out of them.
The Scarehouse.
Yeah, and what were you saying this year? It's a lot scarier?
It's about 200 feet longer. So it takes a long time to get through. So that red light down there will flash when the next group is to go, and it's just all automated. So they just keep going through.
I remember laughing at him and being like, are you crazy? I didn't even know where his head was at with this haunted house thing. I thought it was cool, but I wasn't sure what he was up to with it. Of course, it's Sean and Dario, and they make things outstanding. So it was great for years.
As we got bigger and bigger, we had to start storing stuff in the storage units. We used to get like a 10 by 20, empty it all and just basically just squish it in, shut the door.
And then we had to get 2 storage units, and then we're up to 3 storage units.
Yeah, basically our sales covered the rent and the rent of the storage unit, and that was it. A business like this is very risky because there is no money in it. You have to operate like more of a decade without making any money off of it. So you need secondary income with you and your partners to be able to get through it because there is no money in it. And the money will come later, but everything we make, we just put it right back in. And hopefully we know someday it'll end up being where we're actually making great money out of it.
It's crazy to think that when we first started, there was like 4 of us and we're just leapfrogging each other in the haunt. It was like Colleen and Chad, Dario.
That makes sense. It makes sense, but you would think there were like 30 people working in there.
We just progressively just added a little bit more and a little bit more.
Every year, we never knew where we were going to be until we got the place. It was kind of like, you couldn't really think too much. It was like lay out the rooms, grab all the props, set them up. Like nothing could ever be as good as we wanted it to be because it had to be packable, I guess.
For the life of me, I don't know what kept us going, but we just kept doing it. And I think because of the time frame in between the seasons, you have so much fun that you forget how painful it was to put it down and take it back up.
I mean, there's still people, not my inner circle, they always know that we're off the cuff. We try to do crazy fun things, so they kind of used to it. But when you just talk to, I guess, people on the corner, like, what is this? Sure, they might think we're nuts. So that's the Coles Notes version of Scarehouse, how it started, where it came from, why we're here.
Following an 8-year odyssey across 5 different locations, each requiring setup and teardown for a mere month of operation, Scarehouse Windsor was poised for a substantial evolution. However, such an upgrade brought a lot more work.
First year I went through at Bentley's, I tripped in the kitchen and there was a concrete step and I actually fractured my shin.
Safety first.